Thom whenever.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Dan and Olivia have this week off, but we still have something to play for you. Last week, all three of us participated in a podcast crossover event where every Friday met The Spoon with Robbie Rist and Chris Jackson, a show you've heard us mention many times. So what you're about to hear is an edited version of that episode. Just a quick disclaimer up front. The language in this episode may be a little saltier than what you're used to hearing with the usual every Friday experience. So if you're listening at work or have young ones around, forewarned, forearmed, etc., etc. So without any further ado, here we go.
The Spoon.
The Spoon.
The Spoon.
Hello, it's Rob.
I think I'm in, and it's Chris.
And
Wow!
And it's Thom.
And is Dan?
It's... Oh my god. This is Olivia, I think.
Listen to this, we'll be right back.
I woke from sleeping in the rain, love. Put roses on another grave, and you could take a chance on me. It might be a catastrophe. I'm stranger than you think I'd be. I bought another dress today, love. Looks like the one I threw away, and orbiting around myself. So leave your heart up on the shelf. After an apostrophe, putting us on personality. I don't turn out, yeah. If I could meet my destiny, I'd save it from catastrophe. I don't turn out. I found a nickel in the
What are you pointing at me for? I didn't choose it.
Can I ask a question?
I don't even know what's going on here. It's not my show anymore.
Do we really have Chris?
I have no idea.
I wouldn't kid about those things, Dan.
Yeah, because I was told there'd be no Chris. I'm not disappointed to have Chris. Right at the last second, they spring. This is Chris. What the? No,
Is that
hi,
gonna,
Chris.
wait, is that going to be an issue, Dan?
I was gonna say,
Are you Chris?
Yeah, there was a tone there, Dan. Is my understanding there would be no Chris during the podcast.
Well-
you know what? Can we put this on pause and discuss this for a second?
Yeah.
It doesn't even sound like real Chris. It sounds like an imposter. This is why I asked.
That's because Chris is calling from very far away.
Reporting live from Colchester.
Dan, don't you see that Chris has made a special effort to be here because he wants to, and probably because he thinks it would be fun if we all jumped on the horn?
I do
Thank
not
you.
blame Chris. I do not blame Olivia. I do not blame Rob. Thom told me we don't have Chris tonight. You guys want to be on the show? Show starts. Hi, everybody. It's Chris. Not complaining. Just curious.
By the way, this is The Spoon where we all jump on the horn. And
Yeah,
here we are.
Yes,
So you're in Colchester?
indeed.
Oh my god.
Olivia's probably the only one who knows where that is.
Oh boy.
Yes,
Wait
indeed.
a minute. Okay, first off, that I'm going to assume by that reaction that means she knows where it is, and
Yes.
on top of that, something happened there that caused the extra bit of reaction. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So Olivia, so before you go,
Can we
Chris.
just move on and sing
Oh
Kumbaya?
no! Apparently you don't know what show you're on.
The new subtitle for the show is Dan Hates Chris, so that's obvious.
Aw, Chris.
He's just trying to fill the font-shaped hole in our hearts. It's no big
been
deal.
Done. Everybody hates Chris. It's been done. I'm sorry. I didn't create that joke.
So, okay, we're 7 minutes into the proceedings here, and it's probably should let everyone right now, that our guests tonight are Dan Miles and Olivia Dabo of the Every Friday with Dan and Olivia podcast, as well as having careers of various levels of industrialistness and illustriousness of their own.
Olivia has a career. Me, not so much.
Okay, Olivia. So where is Colchester?
I really can't comment on that. I don't have my geographic map hat on.
Is it near near London?
No, it's definitely in America. I have a feeling it's on the East Coast.
It's not in America.
Maybe.
Okay. Can we just cut to a Miss World commercial where you're asking me a geographic question and I'm answering it with
remember the part where we said it was a live show?
Dismay.
I am live from Colchester, England, about an hour north of London.
How big of a twit do I look like? I just got back from there and I was probably not too far from there. But then again, just to sort of give myself a little bit of slack, I have been living in this country, for quite some time. And so I have to evidently brush up on my geography.
Olivia, I will have you know, I have lived in Woodland Hills for a good 40 years now. And I know that were I to leave for any amount of time, I know I could come back to the streets of my town and know where I was. I would know.
He will always know where Placenta is.
If you ask me anywhere in the valley, I am down to give you any answer that's absolutely on point. It's just if you speak about my own country, I haven't lived there for over 20 years, so I can't help you out, mate. Do you know what I mean?
The valley's actually really easy.
It's an expansive place. You can get very lost. I actually rather like Pacoima. It's my favorite part of the valley, and they have the best Mexican food there.
I know, it's amazing. No, I agree with you.
Amazing.
But see, knowing Chris, that place is probably the Kerhonkson of England, because he finds the place no one's heard of.
I do enjoy, although no, I bet there's knowledge of Colchester somewhere deep inside of Olivia, but it's probably not like an everyday stopover. Oh, look, a tie into your podcast name.
Wait a minute, Chris. Did you just make a really crude joke?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a double entendre.
Yeah, kind of was, wasn't it?
Fill us in, Chris.
I mean, I was. Oh, now you're saying fill us in, Olivia.
And I also want to know where you think the best. Where can you get the best English breakfast there? Like what pub?
Well, I'm here now for less than 24 hours, so I'm going to have to get back to you on that. But I will have an answer. I went to Whalebone Pub this evening for a lovely fish and chips and 2 pints of cider. So that wasn't a bad thing, but I don't know if that's a proper English breakfast.
Had any blood pudding lately, Chris?
No, and that's really not being a beef and pork man. I don't know that I'm going to get any of that blood pudding going on.
I'm happy for you and all the vegans out there. I think it's not my thing either. So
yeah.
Can I ask you another question, Chris? What time is it where you are right now? It's got to be.
It is 3:00 in the morning where I am right now, and
Look at the commitment in this man, Dan.
Right, Chris Jackson is a game day player, like the days of old and the men of yore.
Indeed.
Again, no issue with Chris. Tom told me. Never mind, I've said it already.
There's something deep down inside of Dan that hates me.
he might have gotten it in Colchester.
I think so.
Yeah.
Don't you know that Dan is a stickler and a prickler?
I do now.
I'm just saying maybe Chris sticks around and Tom drops out. I talk to Tom all the time. Let's get more Chris, less. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Chris, I'm happy to have you. I'm just saying I was surprised because I was specifically told it's a pleasant surprise. I love you, Chris. I got a man crush on you. You're my guy. How's that feel?
I understand.
Wow, that was the largest barrage of insincerity
and overcompensation.
I completely. Yeah. I'm like, Chris, you are amazing. The moon hangs in the sky.
Are you interested in oral sex? Are you interested? I will do it.
You want to talk about an Olympian ideal? You are a god.
I will give you what we call a Colchester back door.
Oh my God. This show's bloody mad. It's mad.
Maybe we won't be releasing this as an episode of our show.
Oh, I think
We must.
Come on.
We must increase our buzz and we must expand our audience there.
See,
One thing I have to-
Olivia right on board with it. She's going
I'm
right to you.
so
We
on
must
board.
increase our
I'm
buzz.
so on board.
One thing I want to quickly explain to our listeners, back in the 50s, Robbie played Peter Brady on the Partridge Family. So I think we should make sure everybody knows his credentials.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
I know. I've been reading up on you.
Oh yeah, well, I no, actually, Olivia.
Yes.
Truth of the matter,
Yes.
I am so famous.
Is that
Wow.
why? I love that you're standing up and we're all sitting down. We're having this lovely Skype session, and you're the only one standing up. I mean, but I can see it gives you energy.
Well, it's that, and also, I did. Not only. I hate myself. I'm going to drop names. I was doing some work at Dave Grohl's studio, and their recording engineers have one of these little things, and they were like walking around, standing up, engineering, and I was like, what are you guys doing? You're supposed to be grossly overweight and seated down like all engineers are. And they said, in an effort to sort of, what's the word they used? Oh, survive. They said that they started doing it standing up, and then I kind of went, I'll do that. And now for the last 6 months or so, it's the only way that I do it.
Speaking of double entendre,
Whoa! Hey!
And speaking of dropping names, I mean, I was hanging out with Dave Grohl, carries a little more weight than I was at Dave Grohl's studio. I mean, there's people like emptying wastebaskets in Dave Grohl's studio.
Oh, yeah, well, that's very true. But okay, you're right. But I just feel weird. Like, that's the studio that I went to. He does own it, but I'm not like, hey, Dave and I are like pals. I don't really. I'm not really pals with anyone in the industry, which is why my career is where it is.
you know why you and Dave aren't pals? It's because you use that weird DJ voice every time you see him.
Maybe that's, hey, Dave.
Hey, how you doing, Dave? What's going on?
I'm glad that somebody does voices besides me. I feel like I'm at home with my tribe.
Rob has a whole voiceover career. You guys have that very much in common. You do a lot of top-level professional voiceover, and he does as well.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So, do you do cartoons and stuff?
I certainly do, yeah.
Right on.
Love it. I love it. I think.
Yeah.
it's-
No. It's the best job in the world if you can
amazing.
get it.
You can show up in your pajamas and literally.
Which I often do. But the weird thing is, I sleep nude.
See, that causes a lot of people are like, "Hey, Robbie, put your junk away."
Yeah. It's healthy for you. That's what I have to say.
No, you're right though. I mean, there have been plenty of, I'm a musician also, so there's been a lot of nocturnal activity in my life, and sometimes I'll have a gig at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't get home until 5,
Right.
and then I'm just like, fuck it, I should probably just do a bunch of coffee and just kind of show up and go to sleep after work.
Right.
And so I'm all like scraggly and shit going, all right, let's crank this motherfucker out, all right? Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to be. That's a good way to be for the animated world. I think sometimes less sleep, more coffee.
Yeah.
Because really, you do have to be a complete buffoon, and it's all about a lot of things that get you those jobs. I remember when I was doing TAC from Invader Zim, and I went in, and the reason that I got that role was they said you're the only female who's come in here and been brave enough to just like jump off the cliff and completely lose it and have just not care what anybody thinks. Make a complete fool out of yourself, because you never know as you're speeding into it whether you're going to be nailing it or not. But you do. It's like running a marathon. It's the long jump right up until you take that pole and just go over the other side. And you have to do it with great enthusiasm, vigor, and caffeine, I think, in my opinion.
Oh, I know. I agree with you completely that, when I teach, I always tell people that really a performer's job is to professionally let go.
Yeah.
That's what
right.
you're supposed to do. And the level to which you can let go, like, Jim Carrey can let go in a way I rarely see out of any other human being.
Yes, I completely agree.
Yeah, and so if you're unafraid to go to that distance, to go that length, then directors love it. They would
love it.
Yeah, they'd much rather go, hey, can you cut that in half, rather than can you get there a little more?
Yeah, give me less is probably a lot easier than give me more.
Yeah.
Anything
absolutely.
that requires them to work less is really what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm really good at playing prepubescent Mexican boys.
Sure.
Believe me. Aren't we all?
That's
why I spend my time in Pacoima.
Yeah.
Can I go back and revise my earlier summation? This is the spoon where we're all really good at playing Mexican prepubescent boys.
Exactly.
Actually, it's an amazing thing about voiceover is in that it doesn't, to an extent, it doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't matter what you look like.
No.
So all you chicks, all you women folk, you guys all do the little boys. All
Nancy,
you guys
Nancy
do the little
Cartwright, voice of Bart Simpson.
Pamela Adlon was Bobby on King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some dude like she's supposed to be my wife. You know?
Wait, how did she
Pamela
not get that
Adlon,
memo?
some other dude is poking my wife. What's up with that?
On what planet?
Huh? This one? Well, actually,
I mean,
Pam-
on a show, she was supposed to.
Wait a minute, Olivia. Did you just say that like somebody like Pamela Adlon wouldn't want to have sex with me? Is that what you're telling me?
No. I just mean like, is
No,
it?
but I am.
Oh no, you shouldn't be self-deprecating. You're a lovely cat.
She's known for not poking men that use stand-up desks.
Right. I did hear that about Pammy.
No.
Yep.
Rob, you're saying
Actually,
there was an internet rumor. Is that what you're saying, Rob? There was an internet rumor.
Pam and I kind of started at the same time.
Right.
We were at the same agency for a long time. I carried a very large torch for her for a very long time. And starting with a movie called Plump Fiction, which is a Pulp Fiction parody, starting with that, from that moment on, it was sort of like watching a beautiful skybound device just taking off and going off into the sky where I will never see it again.
One day you will attain the heights of plump fiction.
Yes.
Oh, but she's also in the Sergeant Bilko movie. She's in Californication. She's with Louis C.K.
Yeah, she does a lot of work.
And how am I going to compete with that? How am I supposed to compete with Louis C.K.? Not fair. It is not fair.
So
Now
not
you know why
fair.
he stands up,
So
Olivia.
not
That's why he
fair.
stands up.
But you know what? There's a girl out there for you somewhere.
All right, I've got one. But that doesn't... I've totally got one.
That, by the way, is an official announcement. We have not had.
There you go. This just in, live from Colchester, Robbie Rist. Oh, sorry.
But
a press conference worth watching. Rob reveals the new.
But she knows all about the freebies. I've told her already that there's going to be freebies. So, if Joan Jett comes forward and says, "Hey, do you wanna?" I'm going to be like, "Look, hey, I love you, but freebie."
Joan Jett, Pamela Adlon, prepubescent Mexican boys.
Yeah, it sounds like a band or a song or the beginnings of a song. I'm really digging it.
Sounds like a terrible reality show.
Olivia, was that you singing in the beginning?
Yeah.
Oh, that was really, really good.
Was it Pamela Adlon good?
I'm used to. Oh, it was at least Pamela Adlon good.
It was
As a
excellent,
matter
but
of
I could tell the engineer was sitting down.
Listening to it was like watching a beautiful flying device taking off in the sky and disappearing where I could never touch it again.
Goodbye, sweet device.
Yeah, this is the spoon where they wait 20 minutes to talk about the opening song.
By the way, right now, this whole discussion that I'm having is exactly why it is so long between girlfriends.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, she even agrees with me.
No, I do. I get it.
This is that point, Rob, where you talked about earlier about how the "you're funny," the tone in that starts to turn.
Yeah, exactly. Right there, I just heard it.
The flavor changed.
Yep.
It's not about you, Robbie. Well, it is about you referring to me as a device over and over again. But
Funny.
Did anybody ever tell you, Chris, that
Yes.
your voice sounded like Hal from 2001: Space Odyssey?
Nobody has ever told me that, Olivia.
It's kind of sexy.
Oh, I'll take that. See, that's the benefit of not being on video. You can
I
let
know.
me say, "Ooh, I guess."
You're so mysterious. No, I like it. It's very monotone, yet there is a dry, acerbic wit that flows through, and yeah,
This woman is an outstanding judge of character.
Remember, this is his 4 a.m. voice you're hearing too. Don't forget.
That's a fair point.
Technically, I don't know what time it is. For me.
Yeah, Chris, you've been there for less than 24 hours. Have you slept for any of them?
I have. I'm going over the past 36, 48. I don't know exactly what the hell's going on at this point, but I think I have about 5 hours under the belt.
Okay.
So yeah, very interesting flight, which I can get into at some point. But I know we're approaching halfway mark. Maybe, I don't know.
We're getting close. You want to talk about that really quick, and then we'll jam into the thing? All right.
I'll do my quick story on the flight. So, as we're flying over here, lovely couple next to us. We're in one of those 4-seat rows. The gentleman looks to be in his mid-30s. His wife probably similar. They had just visited New York and had a lovely time. We're going home to England. He had himself a nice curry for dinner, a Heineken, seemed great, took a little snooze, and then suddenly his wife is saying, Chris, and I'm looking over, I'm like, did I even tell this woman my name? Why? I mean, she must just be attracted my acerbic wit and monotone voice, but apparently her husband's name also was Chris.
Oh my God.
And he was unresponsive at that point. So we realize what's going on. We get a flight attendant to go over there. The wife is in a panic at this point, obviously. He slowly sort of comes around. It is like he is on another planet or something. Maybe a planet where Pamela Adlon would marry Robbie. But he is loopy and sort of comes around.
No such place.
Yeah, that could be. He sort of comes around in a very halfway manner. They're giving him oxygen. At this point, we are midway between New York City and London. I'm like, you're kind of fucked. I'm like, I hope you're not in great need, because there's nowhere to go. It's not like
right.
By the way, I'm watching Sully during this flight, which is a fantastic plane film.
Yes.
I'm like, just land on the Atlantic. They do it all the time. So, yeah, he ended up on oxygen the entire flight.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And, as we left, I'm like, look at that lucky bastard. He seems fresh. He's, not breathing this crap air the whole. He seemed great as he left. He seemed very
yeah, there you
chipper.
Go.
Low blood pressure thing is what it seemed to be. He had not really experienced much of that before. He seemed okay, like I said, when he left, and was super appreciative and a very nice guy. But yeah, a little stressful when that's literally the seat next to you. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
So not a lot of rest for you on that flight.
No.
Of course, recently in the opposite direction, traveling from England to the U.S., poor Carrie Fisher also had a very bad flight.
I thought about that, actually. I was like, oh yeah, that can happen.
Yeah.
So we are going to jam over to the greatest song you've never heard, and then we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Chris, are you going to stick with us?
I think I'm going to. Yeah, at this point I'm awake. It's 3:30. I might as well start making the blood pudding for the morning.
You're energized by compliments and
Exactly.
and ready to rock. All right.
Win.
Okay, everybody, mute your mics. Here we go.
Sup, cobnobblers. You lame stains must be bound and hagged if you're sitting there listening to me. You better like this next band though, or we're gonna have to throw down. Check it. Greatest song you've never heard. I use no consonants in my words. That's all I can do right now. I'll be in the other room brooding.
I need